Hello everyone, my name is Jacob and today I'm going to be giving you guys 10 tips to get better at Call of Duty Warzone. If you do enjoy the video or find these tips useful, then I would greatly appreciate it if you left a like on this video and subscribe for more gaming content. But anyway, let's get right into it. Tip number 1 is to not use vehicles late game or in busy areas. Using a vehicle to get around faster is a good idea, but this also creates a lot of noise. Also, there's an icon on your minimap of any vehicles that are in the area. If an enemy is in a vehicle and gets out, this makes it quite easy to find and kill them. There have been numerous times that I would be looting and then an enemy would come by or stop in my area and I would be able to take them out without them even seeing me. If you do want or have to use a vehicle, I would recommend using a vehicle that doesn't have too many open spaces, like a motorbike or something. Chances are people in your surrounding area are going to shoot at you, so if you have doors or a roof that can protect you from damage, then I'd utilize that. Tip number 2 is to not break your own windows. Windows can protect you from damage if you are sniped or shot. With full shield, you won't instantly be killed or not. Of course, they will break in the event of a shooting, so don't break them if you're just surveying from the building you're in. Also, if you have someone else in your house, you can use the window as a distraction. Break it and then run into another room. Maybe they'll run upstairs to the window and try to shoot at you, or maybe they won't, and you can just go through the window and re-enter the building to attack. Tip number 3 is to be careful in open fields. If you find yourself in an open field, whether it be rotating or trying to get into the circle, be careful of others that could be watching you. Try to be as close to an area where there is some sort of cover in case someone tries to snipe at you while you are running. This would be a great time to have an enclosed vehicle which you could ditch later. Tip number 4 is to use audio to your advantage. Audio is a big part of this game, especially when it comes down to the wire in your match. If you have some, you should wear headphones in order to hear gunshots and footsteps much better. Play in the settings a bit to fine tune the audio to get the best experience you can. Tip number 5 is to stay agile in a fight. You don't want to be standing still or stuck in one position if you are in any fighting situation. Learn to slide and maneuver to get better positioning against your opponent and get a higher chance of beating them. You can also strafe to become a harder target to hit. Integrate flash or stun grenades to make it even harder for your enemy to hit their shots and get their sights on you. The harder you are to shoot, the easier it gets to win. Tip number 6 for if you are playing with friends. Tip number 6 is to drop money in the gulag. If you and your teammates are there, then you can give money to the best player that you all know can win, so that as soon as they win, they can buy all of you back into the game. Be careful, however, because if that person loses, all that money is gone and you have to work even harder to get all of it back. Tip number 7 is to peek through doors. If you aim down sights and approach a door, then you can peek it. This allows you to open it slowly so that you can see outside without fully opening it. In late game, use this as often as you can. It can help you spot someone if an enemy is nearby, or it can prevent exposing yourself to anyone passing through or in a nearby building. Tip number 8 is to learn the locations. If you know the map, then it is a lot easier to travel and kill other players that don't know it as well. You can start off with smaller areas and familiarize yourself with loot locations. You don't want to be running into a building not knowing where to find loot boxes or weapons on the floor, especially if there's an enemy with weapons ready. Tip number 9 is to use houses to your advantage. If you are in a house that is near other houses or an open area, you can use the windows as your lookout. Many games I will stay in a house a little while, either while waiting for the circle to close so I can get some easy kills, or so that I can be protected from other people who are around the rim of the circle. I'm not telling you to camp, but have a sort of safe area where you can plan your next move and make sure no enemies are lingering around you. Keep in mind that many enemies will do this too, so be careful when finding a place. If there's an enemy in your home, you can use step 2's trick to draw them out, or you may have to try to flash or grenade them out so that they don't have the first shot. Tip number 10 is to play the gulag strategically. For this one, what I mean is to not just run in guns blazing hoping to kill your enemy. I would say to only do this if you know 100% that your opponent isn't good. If you do know this, then tell me how you figure that out. I'm curious. But on the other hand, you don't want to camp either. What you want to do is peek corners, move on the sides. You don't want to be in the middle if you don't have to. I recommend going to the sides and using walls as cover. Always make sure to look on the opposite side of where you are. There are a lot of aggressive people in the gulag that press you as soon as possible, so make sure you don't expose yourself. And that's it for this video. If you enjoyed the video and want more like this, then be sure to leave a like on this video. If you have any questions or even tips, then drop them in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see all of you in the next video. Peace.